Hey everybody, it's been a while, but we're back with another video. So, decided to throw my name into the Grit Power Open 2019. It's January 12th in Edmonton. So, this is week one of our meet prep. We're actually 13 weeks out, but we're getting to work for this right away because we want to make some big improvements and do really good. So, I'm going to try my best to get one of these videos up for you guys every week. If not every week, probably every other week, but we'll see how it goes. So anyway, it was Monday, October 15th, was day one. So we started off with 3 heavy sets of 5 on the safety squat bar. And I am working with 335 pounds here because I've never weighed this bar. I just counted as 45 pounds. So it might be a bit heavier actually. So next week I'm going to actually weigh the thing. But for now, it's we're calling it 335. So the reason I'm using the safety squat bar is because, well, I've got some real serious tendonitis issues with my elbows. They get real banged up real easy. I just spent most of my 20s doing pretty labor-intensive jobs, and couple that with a lot of training, and my elbows are just shot. So since it's like 13 weeks away, I want to put up a good bench this time. I've always been struggling on the bench. I'm going to try to get my elbows as healthy as possible, and using the safety squat bar actually like keeps like zero tension or torque on my elbows. Feels absolute perfect. And straight bar squats, low bar squats is the number one thing that bothers my elbows. So we're just going to stick to the safety squat bar completely for the first few weeks, and then as we get closer, we'll switch into competition squat once a week and the safety squat bar the other day, and then every squat day as we get really close will be the competition squat. And then after that, those 3 sets of 5 with 335, we went to deadlift. So I worked up to 455 here on the Ohio bar. I got the stiff bar because that's the number one thing that's helped my deadlift, is just pulling off a stiff bar, and that's what we use in competition. So that's what we're pulling with. But I just worked up to 455, and then we did 10 singles with 455. Now, I got this video sped up a little bit. I tried to keep the rest breaks as short as possible. I mean, like 10 to 20 seconds. But I wanted to get all 10 reps in with pretty good technique. So as I got fatigued, we just made them a little longer. So to give you an idea of how long it actually took, we were from the first rep leaving the floor to the last rep hitting the floor, turned out to be exactly 7 minutes. So not as fast as I wanted to, but it was still a pretty good pace. And this is really hard, and we're going to keep working on this style on my heavy deadlift day right up to the meet with just lots of singles. So after this, we did some kettlebell step-ups that just suck. I hate them, but I need more glutes. And I've neglected unilateral work for a long time, so we went with some kettlebell step-ups, and then I just did a little superset of reverse hypers and the ab wheel. I'm finished with a little quick ride on the salt bike because maybe it's not conducive to getting stronger, but I like being in good shape, and the better condition I'm in, the more we can train, the more volume I can handle, the harder I can go. So, you know, even though it's not the most conducive thing to getting strong, I think it's worth your while still to do a little conditioning. But I didn't film all that for this week. I'm just showing you guys the bread and butter stuff, the main stuff. So here you can see they're getting pretty tough. Hands are getting tore up. But we got all 10 reps in with 455, and I was pretty happy with that. And that was the workout for Monday. Here's the last one coming up, I think, or one of the last ones. Keep prologuing the rest breaks more and more as it goes on. But I like training the deadlift on my heavy day with these singles. On my lighter deadlift day, we do reps. But the singles, I think it's more carryover to a competition because, you know, even if you're doing dead stop deadlifts, I think it's easier to do reps in the deadlifts. You know, I've done 2 sets of 5 before at 455, and, you know, that's no joke. That was tough. But I find these 10 singles with relatively short breaks harder. So, and we're going to gradually lower the amount of singles we do, and heavier, of course, as we get closer to the meet. Then we took Tuesday off, other than a little walking, came back in Bredge on Wednesday, October 17th, for my heavy bench day. So here we're working all close grips. On my heavy bench day for the first little while, I'm going to do everything with a close grip just because, like I mentioned earlier, that elbow issue I have, I don't know why, but for some reason close grips feel a lot better, and it also feels a lot better on my pecs that get really tight and my shoulders. So on the heavy day, we're just going to do close grips for a little while. Another thing is, whenever I really focus on close grips, my bench goes up. You know, I know being specific, you know what I'm trying to say, is important for powerlifting and stuff, and I don't like to stray too far from the main movements, but close grips drives my bench up. So we did 3 sets of 5 with 280 pounds. Now, I should be pausing those, but we'll work on that as we get closer. And then for the first time in quite some time, I threw on the bench block because I just really want to get used to handling heavy weight. And even though board pressing isn't so popular for rod lifters, it seems to help my rod bench. So we kept the grip close. We threw on a 2-board bench block and did 2 sets of 3 with 300 pounds. And then for overhead, we just worked up to one heavy set of 6 with the axle. Now, I'm keeping overhead in because I do want to compete in strongman. I'm not giving up on that, but it's just not going to be much volume. So we just worked up with sets of 6 to 1 heavy set of 6. All right, here we are back in the garage again on Friday, October 19th for our lighter squat day. This is the squat day that sucks. Yeah, 4 sets of 10 went to safety squat bar again. It's terrible. With 275 pounds, again, if this bar is in fact 45 pounds. So these are terrible. I hate doing sets of 10 at squats, but it's necessary. You got to be in good shape to lift big weights, and you need the muscle to lift big weights. So these days, they're boring, they're hard, they suck, but that's what makes the difference on meet day. You got to do it. So this far out too, we're really going to work on putting on some good muscle and getting in better shape. All this work 13 weeks away is going to prepare you to handle the real heavy, real stressful stuff 5, 4, 6 weeks away, that sort of thing. So we got 4 sets of 10. On one of these sets, I think I actually messed up and did 9. Yeah, but hey, we'll make up for that next week. Maybe we'll throw in a set of 12 or something like that on next week. Now, on this day, I normally would do a deadlift variation with the straight bar from the floor. Sometimes I pull sumo, sometimes I use a deficit, and after all the squats, I just like to keep the deadlifts to 2 sets. And because it is the second deadlift day, I think 2 sets is enough. And we kind of do the opposite as I do on my heavy day where I do all the singles. On the second day, I really go for some reps. Like I do like 2 sets of 8, 2 sets of 6, even 10. And my favorite accessory to use on this day is the deficit. But now, on this particular training day, 13 weeks away, I know the next 12 weeks are going to be really, really tough. So I just wanted to, work on getting in better condition, work some muscle, getting ready for the next 12 weeks of pounding my body is going to take. So instead of doing the deficit deads with a straight bar, I did some Romanian deadlifts with dumbbells. It's just it's not an easy movement, but it's a lot easier than holding that bar in your hands. I was, again, giving my elbows a break from gripping the bar and tearing up my hands on the Ohio bar, and giving my low back a little bit of a break because I really find these more in the glutes. So we used 100-pound dumbbells, and I was skipping on deadlifts, but I didn't want to cop out and make it too easy. So I got 2 red West Side bands and stood on them and just wrapped them around my neck. So we did 3 sets of 12. This turned out to be really tough. And this is the last set of 12 I did, where I threw in a little bodybuilder style drop set, where after I got my 12 reps, I just put the 100-pound dumbbells down, and then I did a few more reps with just the bands. And you can see here when I finish, this was killer, like deep burn, like I was limping the next day. But that's good. That's what we want at 13 weeks away. We're really working the conditioning, working the muscle. Then after this, much like the first day of the week, we did some more single leg exercises, this time lunges, did some more reverse hypers because I feel a reverse hyper really helps me. Just, I get really tight, and doing reverse hypers after my squats and deadlifts, like, it really alleviates that. So, I do a lot of different things for low back health, and I know there's a lot of, conflicting information out there on the reverse hyper, but I just know when I use it, I'm not so tight afterwards. And then we did some more abs. So this was Saturday, last day of meet prep week 1. And this is my second bench day of the week. And so this time we went straight up competition bench. So just like we did with the squats, we came in on this day and we did 4 sets of 10. So that's my plan for the time being. Not getting too fancy scientific yet. I'm just going to work really hard, and on my heavy day for the squat and bench, I'm just going to go as heavy as I can and push as hard as I can for 3 or 4 sets of 5. It might be 3 sets, might be 4 sets, just depending on how run down I'm feeling with work and everything else. And then on my lighter day, it's going to be like a kind of hypertrophy day. We're just going to push as hard as we can for 4 sets of 10. Same thing with work and stuff. I work 12-hour shifts. I work night shifts and that. So if I'm feeling really tired and run down, it might be 4 sets of 8. If I'm feeling good, we might push hard and try to do 4 sets of 12. But we're just going to work hard and try to increase that weight every week with the same amount of volume, and that's how we're going to start our meet prep. So this was 250 pounds for 4 sets of 10. After I got these done, we just did some dips, some upper back stuff, and some bis and tris. That was week 1. Thanks for watching, guys. Train with bad intentions.